Welcome back. It's your Monday morning, and we're joined now by the incredibly talented Ramsha, an artist who's using her skills to put smiles on faces across Dubai. Welcome.
Thank you. Hi.
Hi. How are you?
Good. How are you?
I'm very well, thank you. Your story came to our attention over the weekend. Shireen wrote an article. We shared a video of yours, and you're doing this kind of incredible gesture of kindness that's got the attention of social media to the point of 1 million views on TikTok. Do you want to tell people a little bit about what you're doing?
So basically I've been drawing since pretty much before I could write. You know, I've always been like doodling and stuff. So this is like one of my sketchbooks. I just always have it on me. And I particularly love drawing people. So I kind of started, when I joined TikTok, I didn't really know what to post. Like it's a very like intimidating app, especially if you're not Gen Z. Mm-hmm. You know, I felt like, okay, I'm too old for this. Like this, I don't know what everyone's posting. Like they're just dancing and stuff. So I was sitting one day at like Starbucks, and the barista was so nice. So I was like, okay, I'll just like, you know, I'll draw him. And I tend to film the process anyway. So I just had this like random idea. I was like, okay, I think I should just give him the drawing and stuff, because a lot of times I've come across people, they're like, oh, I've never been drawn in my entire life. So I was like, okay, like, you know, maybe he's never been drawn before or something. So I just decided to like film the process, and then I asked him, I was like, hey, like, can I give you the drawing and stuff like that? And he was so excited about it. And honestly, I didn't think that video would like go anywhere. I just posted it for fun, and then like a few weeks later, the first one I did was at like 3 million views. Mm-hmm. And
huge.
And yeah, it was crazy, because I mean, I've never heard the concept of like viral like videos. So I was like, okay, cool. So you know, after that, it's mostly just inspired by the idea that, you know, something really small. Like to me, this is something that I like doing for fun. And if it can make someone's day like a little better, then why not? You know? So it's basically just a combination of doing what I like. And once I saw that, okay, this actually makes someone really excited or makes someone happy, I was like, okay, I'll just do more of these.
So cool. I think art is such a personal thing, though. Was it difficult, I guess, posting your first video? Like, was it kind of a tricky decision to be like, okay, I'm ready to put myself out there, or did it just come quite naturally to you?
I mean, I've always loved sharing my art. So I mean, if you go back, like when I was in school, like my art was one of my favorite subjects, and we had this like pin-up board where you put up all your work. And putting up my work was like one of the most exciting things for me. Wow. So I think that just kind of resonated. So for me, it's like my art is personal in the fact, like, you know, I spend a lot of time and effort on it, but I love sharing it as well. So like one of the main things I love about creating art is seeing other people interact with it. So this was like a more simpler way of doing that. So for me, it was never really like, oh, I don't want to share it. It was actually like I was excited to, you know, I always go on the comments and people are saying all these types of things. So yeah.
Did you continue art, just in terms of like people who love art as a hobby, but let's say not something that they do more regularly? Did you continue art after school into kind of, I guess, university, or is it still more of a passion hobby for you?
It's so basically I studied marketing at AUS, and whenever I tell people that, they're always like, oh, like I thought you would have studied like art or design and stuff like that. So for me, I've always kept art as the super precious thing in my life, where I never want to like get sick of it or something like that. So I always do it in moderation. So it's something that I do as, it's like therapeutic for me. So for me, it was always like, okay, I want to do something on the side, and then I have art, which is kind of there for me, like just to relax me and stuff like that. But sometimes it goes hand in hand. So I think it's pretty much like a mixture.
Yeah, I saw one of your videos. I think you were, I'll probably get the location wrong. I think you were in Al-Sakal, and you said something that when you're painting, when you overthink. It was
jam jar. Yeah.
So what is kind of the process where you don't want to put too much pressure on it, but you do a lot of it? And is it tricky when you're kind of making portraits of people? Do you overthink them, or it's just very natural?
I'm definitely an overthinker for sure. Like that video is like a very good example of how my work starts. It's like
we actually have it coming up on Facebook as well.
Oh, really? So for me, like it's always about, you know, like I think as humans, like we're always just over analyzing and overthinking everything. So for sure, there's a lot of overthinking involved. But I think the thing I do with drawing strangers is probably when I'm least overthinking, because number one, I have kind of like a time constraint because they could leave at any time, and that's happened before. It happened like twice where
Do they know you're drawing them?
Sometimes they know. I think if they just see me, like like usually if I'm gonna film them, for sure I give them a heads up. So I go like, "Are you comfortable with me filming you?" Because I don't want to just assume that they want to be on camera. Sometimes they know. I like to keep it a surprise as much as I could, but I think at some point they might catch on that I keep staring at them and I'm like drawing them. But they're quick to realize like what I'm doing. As long as it's not creepy, it's okay. But yeah, like they're just so far everyone's been super nice about it, and I think the reason I also started like the people that I draw. Are all these like hardworking people in Dubai that you come across every day, but honestly, you have probably little to no interaction with them, you know? And I feel like it's one of the reasons that I kind of started shifting the focus of my drawings more on them, because I feel like there's, you know, like if you just go up to them sometimes and just go like, thank you for, you know, they're so surprised. Like that just shows you that they don't hear it enough. Mm-hmm. So that's why, like, I went kind of from drawing strangers in general. Like, at the moment, I'm focusing on people that I just don't think hear it or see it enough. Nice. So
yeah, I think some of the ones I've seen, and I'm sure there are more. There's a petrol attendant, a really nice video, and there's a nice video with a barista. What is because it's a very unique way to show kindness, and it's really really nice and it's really touching because I think people can really see the effort that you put into your drawings and how great they are. So what's the general kind of first reaction?
There's definitely surprise. Like they're like, what is this? Because in some of the videos, if you notice, like I gave the drawing and the guy was just looking at me. You know, he was just like, okay. I was like, there's a drawing, you know. And he was like, because it's a little random, you know. Like if you're just sitting and I just came up to you and I was like, here, like you might just be like,
here's a picture of you that I've done for the last like hours.
Exactly. So their initial reaction is usually surprise, but then. They just get super excited about it. Because like I said, you know, me included, I've probably in my entire life been drawn once. And that's after asking my friend repeatedly. I was like, can you please draw me? So people don't get drawn often. Mm-hmm. It's just, it's something that there's just not, it's not around. So I was like, okay, like let's change that a little. Let's have people, you know, have their sketches and stuff. So it's definitely a surprise. And then it's like what I love seeing is like they're just really happy about it. Really nice. So that just makes me happy and makes me want to like do more of that and stuff.
Nice. You're obviously kind of, I guess, meeting a lot of different people.
Yeah.
Has any memory or even video that kind of went viral stuck out to you, or meeting someone who was particularly touched? Is there any kind of standout memory of this journey so far?
So I mentioned this when we were doing the feature that Maksud, the petrol station attendant, he stood out so much to me because honestly, it was such a hot and busy day. And us on any busy day, we're not in the mood for anything, you know? It's just not like, even if you're just having like a long day, because it was in Jumeirah and it was like during like rush hour and stuff like that. So it's just, you know, I just opened the window. I was like, hey, I like drew you and stuff. And he was so kind about it. He kind of took this like a couple of minutes to just enjoy the drawing. And if you actually watch the end of the TikTok, you hear a beep. Because people were actually just like, what's going on?
How quick was that though? What was that
that was honestly not one of my best drawings because of how quick it had to be. It was so like I drive like a big car, so I had like a little time like until it fills up. It was less than 10 minutes for sure though. So I was just like, I must do this because you know, you can always, this is just one of the things. I mean, you can always give them an extra tip. You can always give them a cold drink or something like that. But in addition to all those things, I feel like something personal, which involves me knowing your name, I think is really important. You know, there was this RTA project that, you know, where they put the names of the taxi drivers. Yeah. And that really resonated with me when I saw it. Because I was like, you know, we see people all the time, but we don't really interact much. And now with like masks and everything going on, like there's such little type of interaction, I would say. So for me, it was one of my favorite kind of like standout moments where I was like, okay, you know, this is like the nicest thing I've seen someone like.
I think what you're doing is incredible because it's reminding us to be more human. It's very easy to kind of walk past and actually not acknowledge someone, but you're doing that, which is really touching. But you have your you have an Instagram account, and then you have 2 Instagram accounts, right? So there's also Art by Ramsha, because I've seen that you're doing, and also here you have this awesome phone.
Yeah.
Is this one of yours?
Yes.
So cool.
This is my first one. So I always experiment with like my own things.
Can we pop it up?
Yeah, sure.
Tell us about it.
Okay, so basically, I love to paint, and a style that I practice is a mixture between realism and surrealism. But like, I won't get technical. Basically, it's like I love merging different realities together, and at the same time, I love focusing on what it actually looks like. So for me, I wanted to make a cover that kind of represents the things that I like. So, you know, I've like got Audrey Hepburn, I've got The Godfather, I've got Biggie Smalls, my name, and all these colors. So I just made this again for fun.
So slick.
And then, you know, people just started being like, oh, can I get one as well? So then I realized, okay, like, you know, people like this stuff. So Art by Ramsha was just kind of like another account I opened where I can sell kind of custom art for people. So at the moment, it's like phone cases. I have more things that I'm planning to do with it because a lot of people and it makes me so excited because it's not something I expect. They just get so excited about my art sometimes. And you don't realize like that does a lot for like someone who's creating art. You're just like, wow, they really like it, you know? Yeah. So Art by Ramsha is just kind of like a separate platform where I'm just kind of, I guess you could say, merchandising the art. Mm-hmm. And then my account is just me. Like I just like to post things I like, my art, a mixture of everything. So
cool, because I think what people would like, and from like they're going to be unique, right? And that's what people are constantly looking for. Is like, how can I get something that like, you know, represents the person in a really nice way? And like I could go to the mall, I'll buy the same thing that someone's probably gifted them 10 times over, but that's why they're so maybe special. Yeah,
like for me, it's I love the concept of just customizing things just for you. So it's like, if I make you a case, there is nobody else who has a case even similar to yours. So and again, it's another way of me interacting because each case is so personal that when someone's placing an order, it's like we actually talk about it. You know, I was like, oh, so what do you like? Like what colors? Like what characters? So yeah, I think you could say that I just like really like people or something.
I love that. That's so cool. Guys, check out her TikTok, check out her Instagram, because I really promise you, putting smiles on faces across Dubai and just creating those human connections that we forget about. So well done. Nice.
Thank you.
So cute.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
And thank you for joining us on the show today.
Yes, thank you so much. Okay, we're both like we're looking at both of them.
This is Facebook. This is Instagram.
Okay.
Guys, that is it for us on the Lovin Daily. The incredible Ramsha, amazing artist. We'll be back with you tomorrow morning, same time, same place. Stay safe and wash your hands. Bye.